another Captain Dumbletwit there.
We heard a visitor arrive.
Come in, come in. They're upstairs in the sitting room.
Ah, Spectopular.
Who might that be?
It was Mr. Mentor the inventor.
Mr. Mentor! What have you got there?
My latest invention. In fact, I think it's my most Wonderbubble invention ever.
Mr. Mentor doesn't just invent things, he invents words too.
Show us then.
Ta-da!
Mr. Mentor had invented the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher.
This Wonderbubble Weather Watcher tells you whether it's good weather for flying a kite, eating an ice cream, dancing in puddles, or building a snowman.
And what if it points to this picture of a house?
That means a Terrabubble storm is on its way and you must go home at once.
And what's the weather going to be today?
I'll show you.
Mr. Mentor pulled the lever and the arrow stopped on a boat.
It's the perfect weather for a boat trip. In other words, warm and sunny with a slight breeze. Which is why I have arranged to go sailing this very afternoon with Bob the boat. I was hoping you'd come with me.
Yes, 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 please.
Oh, fabulous. I'll go and ask your aunt and uncle. Oh, maybe we'll get a lift to the harbour. It was such a long walk here and I do love riding in Campo.
Grandpa wanted to take a closer look.
I'll take a closer look.
The machine made strange noises and the arrow spun round.
I really shouldn't be doing that.
What are you thinking, Grandpa?
I'm thinking that I better come on this boat trip with you. In case there's a problem with this Wonderbubble Weather Watcher that needs someone small.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He runs about so fast I can't ever catch him. He goes swoop, swoop on Gordon the toy seagull. And zoom, zoom in Jason's car. Sometimes he flies in Josh's helicopter or rides in the Sunny Sands train. And he loves flying on my Mrs. Ostrich, which is odd because ostriches can't fly, actually. Today, he was about to jump in my pocket when we heard Uncle CJ come in.
Oh, I see Grandpa's gone for a little lie down. Jolly good, means I can have a dust around.
So, can I go on the boat trip?
Of course. Auntie Jules is going to give you a lift to the harbour. Isn't this amazing? Mr. Mentor's so clever.
Come along. Bob will be waiting for us.
Mr. Mentor picked up the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher and we went out. Uncle CJ stayed to do the tidying up, which meant Grandpa couldn't get away.
Bother.
So, Auntie Jules took us in Campo, through the ford, down the country lanes, over the bridge, until at last we got to the harbour. And there was Bob's boat, the Boomerang, waiting for us. Bob's from Australia. He's new to Sunny Sands.
Hey, Elsie, want to come on deck and help me cast off?
You bet! Mr. Mentor stayed to look after his Wonderbubble Weather Watcher. Soon we were out at sea. I was waiting for Grandpa, but he hadn't turned up. Because he was hiding in a vase, and he couldn't leave until Uncle CJ had finished dusting. At last he left the room, so Grandpa could get away. He jumped into Jason's toy plane and took off. Whee! Mr. Mentor was having a nap when I came into the cabin with some bad news. Mr. Mentor, wake up!
Oh.
Bad news. The weather's changed. The sun's gone in and it's all shivery.
And there's no wind, so we can't sail. I've had to drop anchor.
That can't be right. My Wonderbubble Weather Watcher is still saying it's warm and sunny with a slight breeze. Look!
And there's got to be something wrong with it.
Impossible!
I was wishing and wishing Grandpa was here. I needed him. Luckily, he was just about to land on deck.
It can't be cold and grey and still. It just can't.
Then he sneaked into the cabin. I had to talk to Grandpa alone. So I had a brilliant idea. Why don't you go and look at the weather for yourselves?
Oh, very well. Although it's quite unnecessary.
Good idea, no? Let's go have a look.
Now I could talk to Grandpa. Guess what? You were right. The Wonderbubble Weather Watcher isn't working properly.
OK, I'll see what I can do.
Great. And Grandpa ran across Bob's bed, jumped onto the floor, hopped up onto the table and said...
Pull the lever, Elsie.
I pulled the lever. An arrow on the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher spun round and round and landed on the snowman. Now it says it's snowing.
I'm going to have to take a look inside.
Then Bob and Mr. Mentor came back.
This is very disappointing, Bubble. I must have done something wrong. I'll take a look.
No! Don't look inside. You might mess things up.
But it's not working properly.
It'll fix itself if you wait a bit. Probably.
Well, I'd better hurry up about it. Maybe it's the park starter.
Sure.
The twisty turnator.
Right.
Or it could be the whizzy wheeler. Or even the loopy lever.
Mr. Mentor was in such a panic, he accidentally pushed Bob over. All this time, Grandpa was inside the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher, trying hard to mend it. Bob had hurt his arm.
So sorry, Bob. I didn't mean to knock you over.
I know. It's okay. But now I'm hurt. We need to go straight back to Sunny Sands.
How can we if there's no wind for the sails?
We can use the motor instead.
I'll start it, Captain. You stay right there. I'll get that motor going quick as a flash.
I put the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher back on the table. Grandpa was still inside, busy fixing all the bits Mr. Mentor had got wrong. Bob called up to Mr. Mentor on deck.
How you doing up there?
Absolutely fine. I had to fiddle about a bit, but I'm going to start the engine now.
So Mr. Mentor started the engine, and there was a terrible rattling noise, which got louder and louder, and then it went...
That didn't sound too good.
Then back down the stairs he came and said...
I've broken the engine. I've broken the engine. Oh.
And I can't fix it because I hurt my arm.
Grandpa came out of the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher
Dear.
and found a new place to hide.
I mean, how are we supposed to get started?
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is turning into a terrible boat trip. How are we going to get back to Sunny Sands now?
Oh, no worries. We'll just wait for the wind to pick up again and we can use the sails.
If only the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher was working properly, it could tell us how long we've got to wait.
Grandpa had mended the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher, so I said, why don't we try it again? It might be working now.
How? Well, it can't fix itself.
Believe me, that sort of thing happens all the time.
So Mr. Mentor pulled the lever. It was working!
Oh, it's working! Oh, yes! Oh, no! It's pointing to the little house. That means a terrible storm is coming, and we've got to go home as quickly as we can.
That's all we need. If there's a storm, it'll be too dangerous to put up the sails.
Oh, and I've broken the engine, and you can't fix it. Oh, help, help, disaster.
While Bob was trying to calm Mr. Mentor down, Grandpa called me over.
I'm going to try to fix the engine.
Be careful. He jumped down and ran off as fast as he could.
A terrible storm is going to get us, and it's all my fault.
We'll be okay. Oh, I'll call the Coast Guard and get someone to come and rescue us.
But just then, we heard this.
Oh, that's the engine. It started all by itself, just like your invention.
Fabadiculous.
Fabadiculous.
Fabadiculous. Means we can get home before the storm breaks.
Oh, yes. Let's get back to Sunny Sands.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get there.
As soon as they'd gone, Grandpa appeared at the top of the steps. Grandpa,
That's the engine fixed then?
you're so clever.
Oh, it only needed somebody small. Now I better get back home too. Don't want to get caught in the storm.
No, go now. I'll see you at the mill. Phew. Grandpa flew home as fast as he could, and Auntie Jules brought me home in campo. Grandpa jumped out of the plane, took off his shrinking cap, and came came back to his normal size.
Oh. Wolfie, come on. Up here. There's it.
Grandpa, you made it!
So did you, safe and sound.
All down to you.
Oh, not all. You made sure Mr. Mental didn't find me in the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher.
It was teamwork.
Teamwork.
Grandpa, you're back in your chair. And you're back too.
There's the storm the Wonderbubble Weather Watcher was telling us about. That's why we came home early.
I'm glad you did. What would we do without Mr. Mentor's inventions, eh?
Can't imagine.
Sunny Sands is called Sunny Sands because it's sunny and it's sandy and it's right by the sea.
One of my favourite places is Miss Smiley's cafe. And today she was holding a fancy dress party.
It's looking wonderful, Miss Smiley. All the fun of the fair.
It was a medieval fairground theme, so everyone was going to dress up the way they did long, long ago.
Ta-da! What do you think of my medieval costume, CJ?
'Tis most becoming, Mistress Smiley.
Thou is most kind, my lord.
Ha! You are so medieval.
Oh, heck. I've got to go and get the medieval bread out of the medieval oven.
Yes, this was the day for Mistress Smiley's medieval fairground fun. Back at the mill on the marsh, Auntie Jules had been busy making costumes for all of us. I was dressed as a knight, and Elsie was my dragon, and Grandpa was making up a medieval story.
And Norbert, the brave knight, saddled his trusty steed Humperdinck and galloped towards the castle to come before the king.
Just then, the doorbell went.
Who can that be? Not expecting anyone.
We listened and heard.
Of course we can take her with us to the party. Come in, Belinda Lucinda.
Belinda Lucinda.
Oh no!
Belinda Lucinda is a really bossy girl who lives nearby.
Look who it is, Belinda Lucinda.
And very lovely you look too.
Yes, well, I'm a queen.
Yes, I can see that.
Belinda's coming with us to the party because her mum's been called to a very urgent meeting.
Mummy's got a really important job.
Yes, I know. We were making up a little story. Why don't you join us?
I don't want to be in a stupid babyish story. Not a very real horse, is it?
Funny bit of fairground fun, Belinda Lucinda.
Are you going to the party?
No. I think I might be having a little lie down.
Yes, I suppose you're too old for fairground fun, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Just then, Uncle CJ came up the stairs.
Green sleeves is my heart of gold.
Ah, a medieval minstrel.
And
Marvellous.
who but my lady Green Sleeves? I've just been helping Miss Smiley. The cafe looks amazing. So medievally.
I think it's all silly.
Oh, come on, Belinda Lucinda, cheer up. What about Jules? What's she going as?
I'm a medieval fortune teller. And look, I've made a crystal ball out of an old fishbowl.
What's inside?
Ah, that's the flower of the future. My new hobby, making paper flowers.
Does it actually do anything?
Well, yes. If I bend down, it whispers to me. It tells me things. It tells me what's going to happen in the future.
Ha! That's ridiculous.
Right, we're all ready, so let's get into Campo. We have to go to Mr. Mentor's lighthouse so Jules can give him his costume.
Come on, everyone. See you later, Grandpa.
This medieval fairground thing better be good or else.
Queen Belinda Lucinda is going to ruin the day unless we do something.
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
When my grandpa shrinks, everyone thinks he's gone for a little lie down.
But he gets up to all kinds of mischief. And his magic can make things go.
Like the Captain Dumble to its spaceship and the Sunny Sands train.
And he can hide in teeny tiny places. And to day he'd hidden here.
Boo!
In my pocket. Quick, Grandpa. Just then, this happened.
You're talking to a toy ostrich? How babyish. Your uncle says hurry up. Come on. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
We had to go, but we knew Grandpa would find a way of coming too.
Right. Mrs. Ostrich to the rescue.
So we all got into Campo, and Auntie Jules said,
I can't wait to see what Mr. Mentor's invented for the party.
And Belinda Lucinda said,
Well, if you ask your flower of the future, then she'll tell you, won't she?
at the lighthouse, Mr. Mentor wanted to show us what he'd invented for Mistress Smiley's Fairground fun.
Now this is my trumpety trumpet. Isn't it whizzy woodlesome?
Mr. Mentor doesn't just invent things, he invents words too.
What's it meant to do?
Well, it's meant to make this noise. And when it does, it will be spectopular.
Yeah, really. It'll never work.
Belinda Lucinda was being so rude.
Oh, well, now then there's this. My medieval lollipopper. If you pull that lever, then a lolly should pop.
So I pulled the lever, but nothing happened.
None of your inventions ever work.
Well, they will eventually. They just need a bit of time to think about it. Now, I wonder which one will be the first.
Oh, Mistress Fortune can tell you that. Her flower of the future knows what's going to happen.
Really? Oh, Jules, do show.
It's just a bit of fun.
So everyone gathered round and Auntie Jules talked to her crystal ball. Just then, this happened.
Nobody saw him flying in on Mrs. Ostrich.
Auntie Jules started talking to her flower.
Flower of the future, flower all-knowing, which invention will get going?
Well, which one? Which one will start first?
Ha! She doesn't know.
The lollipopper. Yes, the medieval lollipopper is going to work, Mr. Mentor.
As soon as Grandpa heard this, he ran across the floor, climbed up onto the counter and got into the back of the lollipopper machine.
Suddenly, the helmet began to shudder and the visor opened and the lolly shot out.
Brilliantio!
I've no idea how I knew that.
Time to be off to the cafe now. We'll help you with your inventions. Perhaps they'll all work once we're at the cafe.
And I must get my costume on. See you there!
Grandpa quickly got out of the lollipopper and jumped onto the floor and set off on Mrs. Ostrich. At the party, everyone loved Mr. Mentor's inventions.
Aren't they lovely and very medieval looking?
Pity they don't work.
The lollipopper works.
Fluke.
Ta-da!
Oh, Mr. Mentor, you've come as a jester.
I certainly have, Mistress Fortune. Straight from the court of the Queen. And all my inventions look Wonderbubble. Oh, look.
I knew Grandpa would be on his way. And sure enough, he got off Mrs. Ostrich and climbed up the table leg and right up onto the trumpety trumpet. And just in time, because Belinda Lucinda said...
So how's this silly trumpet thing going to make a noise then, huh?
Without her seeing, Grandpa got behind it and trumpeted away.
Like that, I guess.
There she blows!
Put the lovely inventions in the storeroom so there's more room for these.
And while everyone made room for Miss Smiley's cakes, Grandpa got down off the trumpety trumpet, he jumped onto the floor and ran to find me. He had a plan.
Grandpa always has a plan.
You've got to get me inside Auntie Jules's crystal ball and then ask Belinda Lucinda to take it into the storeroom.
OK. So I picked Grandpa up and took him to Auntie Jules's crystal ball. He hid right under the flower. Can you take this to the storeroom?
OK, maybe it'll tell me my fortune. Well, little flower, what's going to happen next then, eh?
And Grandpa said...
I can tell you exactly.
What?
You're going to start to be nice.
What?
And you're going to say sorry to Mr. Mentor, Miss Smiley, and Jules.
Right.
And then you're going to start to enjoy the party and let everyone else enjoy it too.
Okay, I will.
Promise me?
I promise.
Hi.
The flower of the future is amazing. I'm going to go and tell your Auntie Jules how clever she is.
Done. Get me out of here, Elsie.
So, I got Grandpa out and put him in my pocket. When Belinda Lucinda had said sorry to everyone for being so rude, she started to enjoy the party.
I found your ostrich, Elsie. Sorry I was a bit hurried about it. It's actually really sweet.
When the medieval party was over, we all came home. We ran upstairs and Elsie put Grandpa down.
Apples, Grandpa, quick! I'm glad you came. Belinda Lucinda was going to ruin the whole thing.
Well, I couldn't have stopped her without both of you helping me. And what do we call that?
Teamwork!
Oh, Grandpa, you missed such a good party.
Even Belinda Lucinda had a nice time.
And guess what? She thought my flower of the future was actually real. She actually did. Oh, I do wish you'd been there to see it, Grandpa.
Summer holidays with Miss Smiley's cafe, Mr. Whoops' shop, the beach and the lighthouse where Mr. Mentor the inventor lives.
Oh, I'm so excited!
Today he was so excited.
I've just had the most Wonderbubble idea!
Mr. Mentor doesn't just invent things, he invents words too. Meanwhile, at the mill on the marsh, Auntie Jules was having a clear out of my cousin Jemima's things.
I never realised Jemima had so many dolls. She's far too old for them now.
Look, Grandpa, dolls' clothes. There's a princess, a fairy, a firefighter, and a nurse.
Oh, yes, I remember these. I've even worn some of them.
And Grandpa winked, and I winked back, kind of.
Now keep them safe. They might be useful.
Just then, Uncle CJ and Josh came in. They had news.
We've got news!
Mr. Mentor, the inventor, has decided to have an open day at the lighthouse.
It starts this afternoon and the whole of Sunny Sands is invited. Mr. Mentor is going to get all his inventions working all at the same time.
Sounds Wonderbubble.
Fabadiculous! Spectopular!
Yes, today Mr. Mentor was promising us a day of spectacular surprises.
I'll pop into the lighthouse in Cambo to see if Mr. Mentor needs any help. I'll take my toolbox.
Good idea. Right, I'm going to see what's lurking under Jemima's bed.
All the inventions, all working together. I don't think Mr. Mentor can manage it.
You're not thinking of helping too, are you, Grandpa?
Of course, Mr. Mentor usually needs all the help he can get, and I can't let him down on his open day.
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks? He jumps onto things and climbs up things. He flies Jason's plane.
He drives the toy car and the Sunnyside train. He even flies on Elsie's Mrs. Ostrich.
There he is!
Which is amazing, because ostriches can't fly, actually.
Oh, I see Grandpa's gone for a little lie down. It's all he seems to do these days. I wish he was more adventurous.
But Grandpa was being adventurous. He was off to the lighthouse on Mrs. Ostrich, and Uncle CJ was off in Campo. Both of them wanted to help Mr. Mentor with his inventions.
CJ got there first and rushed up the stairs.
Man with toolbox. Mr. Mentor? Mr. Mentor, where are you?
I'm here.
While Uncle CJ was helping Mr. Mentor get up, Grandpa flew in through the window.
What's wrong? Have you got a cold?
Worse. Much, much worse. I've been working so hard to get all my inventions ready. I've got a thumptastical headache.
Oh, dear.
And there's still so much to do. I've got to get all my inventions working all at the same time.
How many are working so far?
Not one. The Whizzy-Woodlesome Waker-Upper won't wake up. Oh, the Fabridiculous Flower Flooper won't floop. Oh, and the Ping-a-Ding-a-Dong won't ping or ding or dong.
Oh, I've got my work cut out here.
It's all right. I'm here to help. I've brought all my tools. But first, I'm going to find you some medicine.
Grandpa started to creep over to the Whizzy-Woodlesome Waker-Upper. But Uncle CJ kept getting in the way.
Have a spoonful of this.
Oh, I hate medicine. It tastes horrible.
It'll make you feel better.
No, it won't. It'll make me feel worse.
Don't be silly. Come on.
Grandpa couldn't get to the Whizzy-Woodlesome Waker-Upper. He decided to go for something else. The Fabridiculous Flower Flooper.
You will.
Won't.
Don't be such a baby. Come here.
But Grandpa couldn't get to the Fabridiculous Flower Flooper. He had to hide quickly. So he jumped into Uncle CJ's toolbox.
Won't. I won't take it to there.
I thought you wanted to feel better so that you can fix your inventions.
I'll never do it. There isn't time. It's impossible. I'm calling the whole thing off.
You're cancelling? But you can't.
Oh, no.
I've no choice. I promised everyone a day of spectacular surprises, not a day of disappointable disasters.
Okay. It's up to you.
Oh, no.
I hope you feel better soon, Mr. Mentor. Try and get some sleep.
So Uncle CJ left the lighthouse with Grandpa still inside the toolbox.
He drove back to the mill on the marsh and told us the bad news.
Oh, that's bad news. I was really looking forward to Mr. Mentor's open day.
We all were, but Mr. Mentor was far too ill to deal with lots of visitors.
And none of his inventions were working.
Not a single one.
Well, now you're back, you can help me, CJ. There's an enormous box right on the top of Jemima's wardrobe.
At last I could talk to Elsie. No sign of Grandpa. What do you think's going on?
Don't know. Why didn't he fix Mr. Mentor's inventions?
Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he got stuck somewhere.
What's that?
It's coming from in there, the toolbox. Grandpa!
I've got to get back to the lighthouse.
To fix all his inventions?
Yes, but before I do that, I've got to get Mr. Mentor to take his medicine.
How are you going to do that without him recognising you?
Oh, good point.
I had an idea.
I know!
You can dress up as a little nurse and then fly home in Josh's helicopter.
Brilliant!
So that's exactly what Grandpa did.
Mr. Mentor was sitting in his chair, trying to get to sleep. He was still feeling really poorly.
It was time for Nursey to work her magic.
Mr. Mentor. Mr. Mentor.
What? Who are you?
I'm your own special nursey, and I've come to look after you.
Oh. Did I invent you? Oh, I suppose I must have done. How remarkable. Oh, I can even invent while I'm asleep.
Mr. Mentor, my dear, I know you're feeling poorly, that's the reason I'm here. The remedy's before you, just a spoonful will restore you. The taste is quite delicious. You'll be feeling marvelicious. No, I won't. but you will.
No, I won't.
Do keep still. Oh, Mr. Mentor, my dear, you are being very silly. You must let me come near. You mustn't be so grumpy, even though your head is thumpy. Nurse is here to make you better. Come on, tell me that you'll let her.
No, I won't.
But you will.
No, I won't.
But you're ill.
Listen, Nursey, I know that you're trying hard to help me, but I want you to go.
Not until I've done my duty with this medicine so fruity. Take the spoon and I believe you.
Is that true? Can I believe you?
Yes, you can.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Marvelicious!
Now, Mr. Mentor, I want you to close your eyes and think about your inventions. Imagine them all working, all at the same time.
Yes, Nursey, I will. And thank you. You're a treasure.
So Mr. Mentor did what he was told, and soon he was fast asleep.
And while he was sleeping, Grandpa got to work mending all the inventions. As soon as Grandpa was finished, he flew back to the mill on the marsh.
How did you get on, Grandpa?
Mission accomplished. At last I can take my shrinking cap off.
Haven't you better get changed first?
Oh, yes. I forgot.
Downstairs, Uncle CJ was on the phone to Mr. Mentor.
Not only am I feeling completely better, but all my inventions are working all at the same time.
That is fabadiculous. And brilioso. And whizzy woodlesome.
Upstairs, Grandpa took off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
We did it.
Well, it was mainly you, Grandpa.
Not at all. You got me out of the toolbox, and it was Elsie's idea for me to dress up.
Yes, Josh, it was teamwork.
Teamwork.
Oh, Grandpa, you're up and about.
We've got some great news. The day of Spectopular surprises is back on. So now we can all go to the lighthouse.
Elsie, Josh, Grandpa.
Wait. Don't forget to pick up Mrs. Ostrich. I left her there, remember?
Except you can't go, can you, Grandpa? If only there was some magical way we could get you up all those stairs.
Yes, if only.
Off you go.
Is such a great place to stay. There's a lovely sandy beach, Miss Smiley's cafe on the pier, Mr. Whips's toy shop, Bob's boat, the boomerang, and the lighthouse, the home of Mr. Mentor the inventor. Today, Mr. Mentor was feeling a little bit nervous. He was going to teach someone how to be an inventor.
Hello! Mr. Mentor the inventor?
Oh, that's me. And you must be Billy Bentice.
That's me. I've come to learn how to be a remarkable inventor, like you.
Wonderbubble.
Wonderbubble?
Oh, yes. I don't just invent things, you know. I invent words, too.
Oh, yes, of course. Coolioso.
Oh, marvelicious.
Stupendicular.
Fabadiculous.
Fabadiculous.
Spectopular.
Everyone in Sunny Sands was talking about Billy Bentice. My Auntie Jules came back from shopping and told us the news.
Yes, he's Mr. Mentor's apprentice.
Billy Bentice the Apprentice. I like it.
What's an apprentice?
Somebody who's learning how to do a job. So Billy's learning how to be an inventor. Isn't it fabadiculous?
Absolutely.
I'd like to meet Billy Bentice.
Me too.
Me too.
Yes, we were all looking forward to meeting Billy Bentice the Apprentice.
Billy's so lucky. Mr. Mentor is one of the most remarkable inventors in the universe. Something on your mind, Grandpa? Cup of tea. I'll make you one.
But Grandpa didn't have tea on his mind.
If Mr. Mentor is teaching Billy to be an apprentice, he's going to need my help.
But you can't climb up all those lighthouse stairs.
No, but luckily I have other ways of getting there.
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He's just magic. Grandpa, come back. He runs around at top speed and he's impossible to catch. And he uses his magic to make things go. Like Jason's toy car. And sometimes he dresses up as something to save the day.
Captain Dumbletwit, to the rescue!
But this time, Grandpa decided to take the plane.
Here you go, Grandpa. Oh, he's not here.
Sorry, he couldn't wait.
Couldn't wait to lie down, you mean? He's the only Grandpa I know that has emergency lie-downs. Oh well, I can't put off changing those beds any longer.
Of course, Grandpa was on his way to the lighthouse, where Billy Bentice the Apprentice was having his first inventing lesson.
Now, once you have invented your invention, you have to test it out. Oh.
Mr. Mentor and Billy were so busy, they didn't see Grandpa flying through the window or landing out of sight.
There. Now, take my Wizzy Woodlesome Waker-Upper, for example. One of my most fabadiculous inventions ever. What do you think it does?
Does it wake you up in the morning?
Yes. And it'll wake you up in the middle of the night if it thinks you've had enough sleep.
If it works.
Now, I'll show you how you test your invention. Number 1, press the start button.
Press the start button.
So, Mr. Mentor pressed the start button, but nothing happened.
Nothing happened. It's broken.
Not necessarily. It might just be feeling shy. Look away, Billy.
I'm glad I came.
Grandpa slid down and jumped inside.
Are you sure inventions can be shy?
Oh yes. Shy, lazy, grumpy, mischievous. You'd be surprised.
Inside the Wizzy Woodlesome Waker-Upper, Grandpa was working hard to fix the problem.
Yes. And sometimes they just start working by themselves.
No, that's impossible.
My inventions do it all the time. I've absolutely no idea how they do it, but they do.
Grandpa had done it!
Yes! Oh, see? Oh, I told you.
I'd like to know how that happened. Mind if I investigate?
Be my guest.
So, Billy Bentice went up to the Wizzy Woodlesome Waker-Upper and put his hand in. Grandpa had to lean right back, so Billy didn't find him.
I've no idea why it just started working. But I think we should block up this hole. Dust could get in, or even little creatures.
Really? Seems unlikely, but block it up if you wish.
So Billy blocked the hole up, so now the dust couldn't get in.
Bother!
And Grandpa couldn't get out.
All this is very interesting, Mr. Mentor, but I'd much rather invent something myself.
Well, I suppose you might manage to invent something really simple if I give you lots of help.
Meanwhile, back at the mill on the marsh, I was starting to worry about Grandpa.
That's all the guest beds changed, but I've run out of little soaps. Sorry, Josh, I'm afraid we're going to have to pop back into Sunny Sands.
Great! Can you drop me off at the lighthouse? Then I can meet Billy Bentice.
What a lovely idea. I'll just go and tell Grandpa we're going.
No, don't! Grandpa's really tired. So off we went to Sunny Sands in Campo, and Auntie Jules said,
"It's such a beautiful day. I feel so sorry for Grandpa, stuck inside all the time."
Little did I know that Grandpa was stuck inside at that very moment. He was walking up and down, trying to think of a way out.
There must be a way out. There must.
Now, Billy Bentice had been very busy, and in no time at all, he'd invented this.
Ta-da!
Then I arrived.
What brilliant timing! We're just about to test out my apprentice's first ever invention.
It's a tippy-toe tell me. It can tell you who's coming just by the sound of their footsteps.
Now, don't worry, Billy, if it doesn't work first time. Now, do you remember how you started?
Press the start button.
So Billy pressed the start button and the machine sprang into life. Grandpa was still pacing up and down inside the waker-upper.
Stupendicular! Then I say, tell me, Tippy-Toe, tell me, is there anyone near?
And the invention said,
Grandpa's coming. Grandpa's coming. It's Grandpa's footsteps that I hear.
Yay! It works! First time, too!
No, it can't be Grandpa. He couldn't get up the lighthouse stairs. I'm sorry, my young apprentice, but the Tippy-Toe Tell-Me has got it wrong.
I knew the Tippy-Toe Tell-Me hadn't got it wrong. Grandpa was somewhere in the room.
But why's it got it wrong? There has to be a reason.
I couldn't see Grandpa anywhere. Maybe he was stuck in one of the inventions. But which one?
Something definitely needs fixing. But what?
I've an idea. Maybe it just needs time to think about it. I'm Josh, by the way.
Josh, he's here. Thank goodness. Now he can help you get me out.
Grandpa started to think of a plan.
Well, I can't see anything wrong with my Tippy-Toe Tell-Me. Let's try again.
So Billy pressed the start button and the invention sprang into life.
Tell me, Tippy-Toe, tell me. Is there anyone near?
And the invention said,
Grandpa's coming. Grandpa's coming. It's Grandpa's footsteps that I hear.
There's no sign of Grandpa here. I think your invention is teasing us.
Impossible. There's just something wrong with it.
And then suddenly this happened.
How very peculiar is... why is it doing that?
I knew why. It was Grandpa sending me a message that he was inside the Wizzy Wheels waker-upper.
You go outside. Leave it to me.
I got Grandpa out of the Wizzy Wheels waker-upper and put him on the floor.
Oh, thanks, Josh. I thought I'd never escape.
Grandpa, the Tippy-Toe Tell-Me knows you're here. You've got to go now before you're found out.
OK, see you back at base.
Grandpa jumped into the plane and flew out of the window.
It's okay. Come in now.
It's no good. I'll never be a Remarkabubble inventor like you, Mr. Mentor. I might as well give up.
Oh, don't say that, Mellie. My inventions always work at the end. Like the Wizzy Woodlesome waker-upper today, for example.
I think you should give it another try.
OK. Just once more.
So Billy pressed the start button and the machine sprang into life. And Billy said,
Tell me, Tippy-Toe, tell me. Is there anyone near?
And the invention said,
Jules is coming. Jules is coming. It's Jules' footsteps that I hear.
Grandpa flew back to the middle of the marsh as fast as he could, and we weren't far behind.
You made it, Grandpa. Well done for fixing the Wizzy Woodlesome waker-upper.
And well done for rescuing me. Teamwork, I call it.
Teamwork.
Oh, Grandpa, you poor thing. You've been stuck inside for ages.
Oh, I was, but I'm all right now.
I wish you could have seen the Tippy-Toe Tell-Me that Billy invented. It was spectopular.
Oh, it worked, did it? Good.
In the end, apparently it kept saying that you were in the lighthouse. As if that could ever happen.
As if.